Hello everyone, and welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma, also on TikTok at Xisuma TT. Let's jump in, let's log in. I've forgotten where I logged out. Actually, I think it was in my base. I was on here to do some texture pack stuff a moment ago, involving some of these pretty flowers. Yeah, I guess that can't be stacked now. Yeah, it's early on a Monday. Much earlier than when we usually start streaming. Just got a lot on this evening. And figured better to just start now. Earlier than usual, so, yeah, I got some ideas what we're going to be doing today. Not really sure if I need to grab anything just yet, but it seems to be a common thing to not know exactly what you need when you start doing stuff. We got peeps tuning in. We got Maddie, Wildflowers, Funky Capybara, Grap Freut, Loxplay, Hero Blender, Iron Maiden, Citrus Acid, Forgil. Well, there's a name. I won't read the next name because I'm absolutely going to butcher it. I know I will. Hey, Mixanu, welcome to the chat, my dude. You're watching this on a train station, but oh well. I mean, if you can, you can. Is that... Oh gosh, that almost looked like some sort of snowman-like figurine for a second. I was like, is there a new prank going on? Have I missed something? Yo, Vinot! 24 months, my dude! 2 years. Thank you for everything you create. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. We got Loading Turtle 22 here for 14 months. AX finally able to catch a stream after being busy with work. Gotcha, gotcha. Glad to have you in here today. Look at this, peeps. I did away with this entrance, right? I've done a little bit here and there. Just a little bit. Changed out this top material. Ceiling's complete, you know. That's good. That's good. Something I need to do in the middle of the room, actually, before I forget. And this is going to be slightly painful. Let's get the doggy out of the way. Got to be in line with that. Got to be in line with this. Right, yeah, looks like we are. Okay, it's going to be slightly painful because the maps are immediately going to disappear. I need to redo these hoppers because they don't actually point down into these barrels. There's 2 of my maps. There's another 2. Yeah, that is why. Need to fix that. Need to fix it. Okay. Now we play the guessing game. It shouldn't be a guess, really. It should be use your head, use your noggin. It's crazy awesome. Shout outs to the both of you. Oh, X, you and your shout outs. Oh, gosh. Always giving them out. Here's my idea, right? Like, what if this thing got deeper? If you have kids, naps are the absolute best. Yeah, I don't remember. The last time I learned about like the science of napping or whatever. But I know from personal experience, napping just ruins me. I wake up feeling rotten, and I don't need to nap, so I'm good. Hey X, don't give me a shout out, says someone in chat. I won't give you a shout out then. Fair enough. Fair enough if you don't want one. You see how we've got like this awkwardness with the block there? Right, and then we've got this space for the ceiling. I think the ceiling actually has to be one block further lower. I'm going to need some bone blocks. I've just realised my audio isn't set up correctly. Need to press a button, change that. By the way, I got a hot cup of tea with me today. First cup of tea that I'm going to have today. Running a little low on milk. I get my milk tomorrow. So I thought I'd conserve my tea consumption. Am I active on my Patreon Discord? I mean, I am, but maybe not where you want me to be active. I'm not much of a chit chatter online anymore. Oh, that's not the block I thought it was. What's going on up there? Ah, that's particularly awkward. Particularly awkward, right? If I want to open up this space, I mean, maybe we can embrace the quartz. Maybe that's the way we do it. We're gonna. Oh my god! Then there's gonna be the thing with redstone over that direction, right? Hang on. It's right behind here. Oh my god. Maybe we won't do this then. I was gonna dig out this space and try and turn it into like a secondary room or something. Maybe we could do that like on one side, and in that way we would get like a bigger room out of this space, because I don't think it's big enough for all the lodestones, right? Here's the best experience I've ever had napping. A shot of espresso, 30 minutes sleep. I was really tired and woke up feeling really active. It works because the coffee takes 20 minutes to absorb into your system. Yeah, it makes sense. You absorb it while you sleep and then bam. I mean, I'd give anything a try, really. I could try that, but I would be surprised if it didn't work out too well for me. Maybe we move the redstone over here. That's another idea. Probably not. Actually, no. I probably could flip a lot of it and keep this bit. Like if I flipped it into that space, it might work. Might also then break when it's not in the spawn chunks. Yo, Textured Ghost, thank you for 2 months. Happy 2 months. Have a great stream, X. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your support, my dude. Speaking of music, the overlay has gone again. That's because I had to turn it off last time. Yeah. So, I had a big plan to dig out all this space. The alignment with the ceiling, I mean, I could bring this down another block. I like the idea of the floor dropping down a little bit and then you having some space. Because imagine that all of this is like opened up and that the bone blocks look through into the real part of the room. When I say real, I mean like the bit with the lodestones. What other options do we have here? I mean, technically, this thing could be oriented differently. Actually, yeah. Do you know what? I could move this around. I could move this around quite effectively. Actually, now that I look at it again, I'm like, yeah, that redstone probably isn't in the way. If I really think about it. So if we dig out all of this space and then make it so that the room behind the pillars is the room, that is how I think we'll get enough space out of this area for this project, which is to host hold, I don't know what word's correct, all of the lodestones. I also reckon that we're gonna have some stairs go down here. Like bam, like that, in that direction. Some good tea right there. Ads on Twitch are getting out of hand, says chlorine monoxide. Right as someone else is like, ads, for God's sake. Yeah, they're getting pretty wild, aren't they? Hilma says, I'm a bit tired from being on the server the whole day, so this will be a nice change of distraction. Awesome, awesome. Hope you're enjoying it on the server. This is a good use of 1.21.5, lodestone flooring. That is what we're doing. Yeah, there's a point. If that's the way we step down a couple of layers, then maybe we end up with glass here to like look into that space. I guess we've got to get a sense of the height of the ceiling and what feels like right or wrong. We also need to know like how far we're going to dig back, because you saw there was some armor sand stuff back there as well. But I really think this will serve the room well. I think it'll serve the room well. I think the quartz ceiling's going to be okay. Yeah. You're excited for summer break to be able to watch more streams, says Chris Kibo. I'm excited for summer because I want to get outside more. Like, it's lovely weather yesterday and today, and I walked the dog both days and just absolutely loved it. Finished listening to a book today as well. I was listening to The Trading Game by, is it Gary Stevens or Gary Stevenson? I really like that book. That was a fascinating listen. So yeah, I absolutely blitzed through that book. Once I was in, I was like, oh, I can't put this one down. Cybot, welcome to the stream, my dude. Probably going to investigate that redstone that I mentioned to you later today. On Wednesday where I live, it's going to be 29 degrees. It's going to be amazing. Awesome. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. I really enjoy the weather. I don't feel like I ever really enjoyed it that much when I was young. Like it was just like, oh, whatever, it's hot, you know. So what? These days, man, I love it. I walk through some woods where all the bluebells are blossoming, and oh, it's so nice, so scenic. Your trains just got cancelled for 2 hours. Citra, you're having one hell of a day. I mean, hey, you made a new friend, right? So you got someone to hang out with, I hope. Yes, you're having a day, I can tell. Maybe here in the corner we put in another bone block pillar. Feels like they would belong there, you know. Take out that a little bit. Or we can experiment and find out if they would look more interesting just being fully open. Anyway, has anyone listened to the book or read it? The Trading Game. It's been #1 bestseller for like 12 weeks or something. Kept hearing about it, and I was like, all right, I'll give this one a try next. I guess it's an autobiography. It's just very, very casually written. Definitely an autobiography. Oh, there might be like an end to this space here, I guess. Because like the staircase is in the way, but yeah. You haven't heard of that book before? Oh, okay. The blurb of the book sounds interesting, says Expelled Winter. If you're looking it up, I'd say if the story entices you in any way, you'll probably get along with it. It's quite casual, and that's actually a good thing. Like, it just feels a lot more earnest because it's written in like some quite casual language. Zephyriel says, yes, I've read the book. Awesome. Did you enjoy it? I enjoyed it a lot. It was really interesting. What's the book called again? Trading card. The trading game, I think it's called. It's like the #1 bestseller on one of those bestseller lists. I don't know which one, but it's been there for like 12 weeks or something. Yo, Beta and Daniel, thank you so much for 50 months. When's a door not a door? When it's ajar. Oh yeah, don't leave the door ajar. Always shut it properly. You know I like those kind of jokes. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate the support. Welcome to another stream. The Trading Game. Yeah, it's called The Trading Game by Gary Stevenson. So it was a good listen. What's it about? Well, you can look it up and read the blurb or whatever, like someone else did. But it's about, well, the guy who wrote it, Gary Stevenson. He's like a normal working class lad who becomes a trader. You know, stocks and shares and money and all that stuff. One of those people. And then he becomes one of the world's most successful traders for a small period of time, and like it's his story about that period of his life, and it's really fascinating. A wandering trader from the Minecraft game. Oh no, different type of trader, mate. Different type of trader. What hermit do you think has improved their skills the most? Says Snorlax. Since when? Because every hermit at one point in time never played this game, so, you know. And how would you rank their skills? If you rank them, you'll get the answer to your question, because everyone starts in the same place, right? Mixanu says, I'm funny to myself. I can relate to that. I make lots of humorous remarks to myself that I'm like, no one else would find this funny. But it amuses me. And sometimes you all are subjected to those strange senses of humor that I have. A lot of them are sarcastic. As in like Wall Street trading, says chlorine monoxide. Yeah, where they go, you know, they trade sheep and shears. Wall Street, yeah, that place. You spelt it correctly. Don't question yourself. Wall Street. I want to come up with more, you know, more jokes, more puns related to sheep, but I'm just not that fast, you know. Where they wear nice sweaters. That's as good as I've got. You know, turn up in your nice sweater. Yeah, Wall Street trading. That you know, financial trading, banks, all that kind of stuff. This guy was a trader. And his story is really quite fascinating. Are Happy Ghasts installed yet, says Zephyriel. Happy Ghasts are still snapshots. And on Hermitcraft, we don't do snapshots. Snorlax says this season and through something they are uncomfortable doing, like redstone or building. Yeah, I mean, it's a very subjective question that you ask, and I don't really keep tabs on the other hermits in that way. I think Pearl has constantly surprised people with doing stuff that you might not expect Pearl to do, but then I think actually Pearl's just very good at applying herself. Like, I think a lot of people are probably more capable at more things than they realize, but we tend to tell ourselves, oh, I don't do redstone, you know. If you tell yourself that, you're not going to find yourself spending hours in a little creative redstone world figuring stuff out. Yeah. Like, sometimes the difference between a good redstoner and someone who isn't is that you just went and did the redstone, right? Like, when we talk about building here, I often just talk about, like, you know, we were talking about B-dubs the other day, and I was like, I think when you look at B-dubs' build, I think the man puts a lot of time and dedication into them, you know? And when you do that, some of it starts to become second nature and more natural, right? But I think he puts a lot of hard work and effort into it. Let us Let us look at the distance we've got over here. How many blocks is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 is like where the wall's going to end. And I wanted more torches for counting. I'll have those back. 7 is our number. Let's go measure it out. I mean, hopefully it didn't like start an extra block back for some obscure reason. I don't think it did. Like some other hermits saying they're not a builder. Look at you, X. Yeah, I mean, it's like comfort levels and stuff, right? Like, if I build, it's because I put in a ton of effort and went outside of my comfort zone. If I did that, like, all the time, I would be less outside of my comfort zone and probably just start to say, alright, I'm a builder. But it don't come that naturally to me. So, like, redstone comes way more naturally to me. But I still have to put in time to do redstone, right? You know, is Mumbo a really good redstoner? Yeah. Do you think who do you think spends more time doing redstone? Him or someone who's like, I can't do redstone? You know, like Mumbo puts in tons of time into his redstone. That's why he's so good at it. Okay, so if we had like the wall here, I could like literally you got one block and then it's my redstone. So I reckon I can figure out how to shimmy that redstone around. So I reckon we'll proceed. I kind of like the ceiling just being at this height here, and it's like one step down to go in. I kind of like that. So this could be the floor at this level here. It could be carpet or something dark. Feels like it's been a minute since I've pulled out the old like creative world building palette and found something interesting, right? Maybe we'll do that today. Maybe we'll be like, let's throw together some blocks and see if we can come up with something interesting. Then when Joe and Cub next swing by, we can be like, hey, check this out. And then Joe gets mentioned in chat. Do you know how Fortune works with Boomer B-dubs? Oh, that's TCG cards. That's TCG card talk right there. That is some TCG talk right there. Beef would have like a bible of all the card definitions and stuff. He'd probably also know it just offhand as well. But I do not know that. I'm not a great memorizer of facts. And that is a fact. I memorized it. Trust. Yo, Maddie Goody, thank you for 7 months. You're loving the LPMT4. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Am I being mentioned in chat? Fortune gives all coin tosses as heads for X number of rounds, or only X number of heads. I only have one head. I might be the only person who finds that funny. That is some good tea. That is some good tea right there. That is some good tea. Well, then put it to use, X. Gee, that is a witty comeback. That is a good comeback. I'm tempted to say it's on sleep mode. It's still on sleep mode, man. See, I kind of like the idea of making these too deep, but then we would have to suffer the intolerable knowledge that that block there is a bone block instead of a smooth quartz, and you know that's pretty unacceptable. That I might have to delete the world if that turned out to be a thing. So we're not going to do that. But I think it works. Like the vibe is right. The vibe is right, moving from one space to the other. And now we just have a ton of space to put lodestones and stuff, right? Pearl wants to play Hungry Hermits. I might be down for some Hungry Hermits. I think that it sounds like they're playing TCG cards right now. In which case, I might have to get a little bit of a move on here and do some redstone and stuff, right? If I'm to play some games, I need to get some stuff accomplished today. I want to show you guys something I want to fix, right? Let's do one more. Right, we can get the sort of corners outlined. Then I think we can kind of look at this for now and be like, right, we'll do the rest of that later. So this is a corner right here. That just allows us to know the size of the square that we're digging, right? So that's good. Let's not do that again. We'll go this corner. We'll go this corner over here. Right. I've done hardly anything at all. Great. And down at that level. So 1, 2. Did I see that XB sold Corrales' base to Ren? Say what? That sounds wild, yo. Can't just sell another Hermit's base, right? That's wild. That sounds straight up illegal. Hey X, yesterday I watched episode 1072, My Strangest Day on Hermitcraft with the Royal Party. Everyone dressed in your skin playing musical boats and then getting found out by King Ren. Such a good one to revisit. Yeah, that is actually. That's a really, like, fun little episode, right? Like a very just, whoa, that happened, okay. kind of moment. You remember reading a fanfic and Xisuma had an epic boss fight and an evil Grian, and Xisuma in the fanfic was so cool and badass that it was like the true power of Hermitcraft server admin. Gave me goosebumps. Cool. Cool. I wish I could have seen that. I see fan art. When we say fanfic, are we saying something slightly different, or is it essentially fan art? It sounds more like a comic strip in my mind, you know, especially the way you described it. I think this will make it pretty clear as far as we're digging. Is like there, basically. And now we're going this direction. Yeah, they are having a right old discussion about this TCG card. I'm not even reading it. I'm just noticing it. Fanfic is written. Oh yes, of course. Okay, okay. That's why it's setting off little alarm bells in my brain. Right, it's like a story. Yeah, I've definitely never read Hermitcraft fanfiction. Probably because I can't tolerate reading. I'm just... It's too low dopamine now. I've been in a dopamine stimulating environment online for too long. It's bad for you. Sometimes I like to just, you know, go for a walk and take out the headphones, but I don't do it enough. Need to do that more. Alright, next bit kind of starts along here, and that'll be the end of it. Alright, so now we have pretty successfully marked out the territory, the size, the space of this project, yeah? Yo, Noff211, thank you ever so much, my dude, for 22 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for the support. No message of that one, but I hope you're doing well. Bam. Yeah, let's just wander it back into the middle. So you can start to see it already, how like there's a bigger room beyond the central one, and that feels so right to me. So right. Let's go ahead and bump out a few more bits here and there. I mean, I've got 11 of these blocks left to place. X has lost all of his dopamine receptors. I mean, dopamine. Dopamine is the thing, right? That's what we're talking about. That stimulus that your brain's always after. It's been hijacked. It's been hacked. Why do I keep feeling the need to like listen to some YouTube video of someone talking about something? It's probably not good overall. I remember being a kid and just being entertained by simple things for hours at a time. What happened to that? What happened to that little kid? Need to find that little kid. Oh, this actually goes one block. Oh, more than that. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to power through and get some more of this done, I think. But yeah, we do need to pivot. I want to go show you what we're going to fix up with some redstone today. Then when we go to our redstone world, I want to suss out what building palette we're going to use down here as well. And then we might even come on here and like try and implement a solution. I'm not sure. Yo, it's Bear!
Hello, gamers.
Bear, 818, 44 months. Thank you so much for what you do, Bear. Appreciate ya. Hope you're enjoying the stream and the voice. Maybe the next step is to never acknowledge the voice now. Alright, so I need to go put all of this into another shulker box, right? I can't remember why I picked up so much of this. Wait, where did it go? Wait, it's there. There it is. I can't remember why I picked up so much of that dark wood. I can't remember. But I needed it for something. Should we move some of these torches around so not all of this area is spawning mobs? He makes it sound like I smoke a lot. Bet, I've been telling you, 20 packs of cigarettes a day is a lot. Right, let's go up. Oh wait, yeah, and I got this. And I got this. Do I have lodestones in there? I don't think I got lodestones in any of these. There's my axe. Oh, and I think I had some deep slate stairs in here. Yep. Back in the box you go. Nice. Rockets, please. Right. X, would you mind eating? Oh, I ate a little while ago. I had some canned soup, some fruit and yogurt, and a bowl of nuts. And later today I'm going to cook me a curry and then have some ice cream. Right, let's drop this off. More of that for sorting. Let's go to the redstone. Oh, no, wait. I need to show you the problem first. What am I on about? I need to show you the problem. You love the inventory screen, says Theta. I mean, like... Wait, what are we talking about? Oh, I've still got loads of junk on me. I should probably get rid of that. You love the inventory screen. I feel like either there's a joke there or like, what am I missing? I love staring at the inventory screen. It just doesn't sound right, does it? Okay. Put that away. You're craving a curry now. Give in to your cravings. Right, we gotta go to our mob farm next. Who remembers the mob farm? It was so long ago, the beginning of the season, right? Best way to it is down here. In this spot. With this room. There was a bit of a challenge to make, actually. A challenge to myself. I think it turned out pretty cool. Just don't spend enough time here. Right, here's the problem. I'm starting to run out of bone blocks, okay? Down to this last double chest. And there's no other stuff stashed around here. Now, why do I not have a lot of bone blocks coming in? The farm's always running, right? Well, no matter what I try, this area here... Oh yeah, that now happens. Bam. This area here always gets messed up. Why does it get messed up? Because the water is never fixed. It's always broken like it is right now. There's the skeletons. They take too long to die. They're supposed to take some fall damage. Right? So this system here is just balked. It's not working. How can we make it work? Well... Because this farm spans over multiple chunks, I'm pretty sure the crux of the issue is just that parts of it are loaded and unloaded, and adding these loaders didn't seem to fix it. So, is there another way we can get something like this to work is the question. There might also... I have a feeling there might be an opportunity here to reduce the amount of dispensers, but I don't think I'm going to mess with that, because this whole thing is kind of timed and... whatever. It works when it works, but it won't work because of all the reasons just explained why. So how can we make it work? How can we make it so that the water is in the correct position each time? And I've come around and looked at this and I've realized that I might have to do some serious redstoning, because I had an idea and I engineered a little something for it. And Cybot is messaging in chat. Get bone blocks from the moss farm, use trapdoors and pistons to control the water. Okay, so I mentioned about not changing the layout, and that is because of using something like pistons. I didn't think about trapdoors, but I think it's the same issue. Well, maybe we will go look at that. Let me show you what I created, right? So if we set this thing up with a signal to dispense water and a signal to remove it, right? I don't know which one's which, but that one is a signal to fill it up, I believe, right? Notice how it doesn't change it, and then when we get a signal to unload it, it'll get unloaded. So if at any point, like, some of this gets unloaded and it doesn't get the correct signal, it'll eventually just fix itself when it gets the correct signal. I do now wonder if even that could break, because, well, if the area is partially loaded, it might be that some of the redstone doesn't get loaded, but as soon as you're in the area loading it all, in theory, these should synchronize up. Now, Cybot then sent me this, which seems a lot smarter, right? Like, you just simplify it like this. I was wondering though, could the same thing happen? Could this break? Like, you get your one signal, and then you get your other one to change it back. Okay. If you partially leave the area, maybe you don't get that second signal. It's the same problem that could affect this, partially leaving the area. As soon as you come back and the whole thing's loaded, this is going to be loaded again, right? So I guess there was a reason in my mind why this might have not worked. Cybot says, I think my thing is not unload proof. Yeah, Cybot, I think mine isn't either, right? But then once you reach the point where the loading and unloading is an issue, it's an issue anyway, because that's the thing that's breaking it in the first place. So when you then head back over there and the thing is fully loaded, it will self-correct. That's the way I think we need to look at it. And I think this does it, but the other day I was looking at it and I was thinking it didn't. So let's just imagine that it's like in the wrong setting, and then the system starts again. That one gets powered, and this one gets powered. It's going to correct itself. I'm pretty sure it will correct itself. Now, when it comes to wiring this up, there is something that I would think would help me make it a little easier to put together, but it might also break. I don't have water, do I? Oh, wrong one. So, yeah, here's like the other way we could do it. I just wondered if there'd be some like bud powering on the bottom piston. Doesn't look like it. Might have something to do with the signal length. So let's say we power the top one with that. Nah, seems to be okay. So if we did it this way, we can have like probably just run redstone directly over this. But you can have a line of redstone at this height. This would be much better for our situation. Then down at this level, like redstone down here. And it could go around in a circle and it can hit up all the bits. So, Cyber, what do you think? I think self-correcting is the way to look at this, and I don't actually think your one would actually break. Because it's all about putting the thing back into the position, right? Like, this only ever moves based on what the redstone here is telling it we want it, what state we want it to be in. If it gets partially unloaded and breaks because of that, it's the same problem that will break it no matter what we do. So it's not really an issue. Once you go back over there, it self-corrects. Alright, so self-correction is the idea with that. Let us now go look at this thing over here. There it is. This is where I messed around with the layout of the water originally. And then there's been all sorts of other things happening over here and stuff breaks. I think what you're looking at with this water stream here, I think this exists on Hermitcraft as well, right? There's a water stream that then pushes the water into the... Well, do you know what? I don't actually need to, like, get rid of that, so... Let us just keep that. I don't know why there ended up being some redstone here, but yeah. So we got those water streams to drop off the items on that side. So we look at this layout, and we just do this from one side. This is where the water currently is. This is where they get dispensed. Now, if I turn that into a piston, what we could do actually is have water here and here. Oh my god, this actually might work. I didn't see this before, right? Let me show you what I was originally thinking you would do in this situation. I thought we'd be putting in the water like this. You know what? This is a very common thing with redstone, I've noticed, is that you spend time thinking about redstone and then you spend time doing redstone and you can't think of everything. There's always, like when you come in and get practical, there's always something, right? There's always something that you didn't think about, and then you're like, oh, of course, but that's why we can't do it. Anyway, even if I have the water flowing from here, it's gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna actually just for now put them on one side to show what I was going to talk about. So we'll now go ahead and replace this and look at where the water flows. Okay, I kind of want to just cross that off for the time being. So if we imagine that these are pistons that lift, right? The water looks like it actually gets all the way to these edges. I thought that they wouldn't. So a little bit of an experimentation, and they actually do. But what we've learned in the meantime is that we could make the water source where it already is. Okay, I'm gonna lose track of this if I'm not careful. So now we're gonna have the water source there. Okay, you would be... Oh, that's weird. We've got these backwards flowing ones here. I'm not sure if they're a problem or not, but why does this not... How does this end up out of balance? Wait a minute, I think I've just messed around with the blocks a little too much, and that's why it flows backwards when it shouldn't. That's how it should be. Except it's off. Wow, I've really messed this up. slightly concerned now. Based on where that water is, this shouldn't be the case, surely. Anyway. Oh, you can see from the blocks below that is indeed correct. Okay, that's good. Alright, so where have we got water sources where they shouldn't be? All over the place. And then here, it's like that. Right, well, I've restored that somehow. That was a bit of chaos. There's water sources all over the place here. Okay. Let's go and change these into, like, downwards facing pistons. So the water sources are going to be there. But we're going to hold them back. I'll do this bit first then. So they will be water sources like they were before with the dispenser. But this time, they're going to be created by the ones that are behind them. So the water will flow from the exact same spot. But by pushing the piston down, we will remove that. This is probably the best way to do it, really. I had it in my head when I'd think about this that it wasn't really possible to use pistons to do this, but it turns out it totally is doable. Should have experimented more. The only one issue with this might be the timing is different, but I can't see it being much at all, really. So if we go change our system to that, it will work, basically. What do you think, chat? I showed you an alternative design earlier. 2 of them. They would be significantly more complicated. This would be much more manageable, I think. Might have to redo some of the... Well, either way, we'd have to redo some of the redstone to get the timing correct. But I think that's the way we're gonna do it, right? They can land on the magma blocks when it's set up like this, and then we unpower it to let the water flow out. And then I don't think it really matters if part of it unloads or not, because once it does load, it'll all be working together. Cybot says that is way better than with the dispensers. Yeah, it really looks so, doesn't it? This version looks more understandable. Yeah. Plus, you're seeing it, like, in the same layout as before. What we did a minute ago was, like, you had to think about it more. Right? So I'm glad that I'm not going to build this instead of one piston. And I'm kind of glad that we're not building this instead of one piston. This is obviously a lot more compact and easier. One thing I'm curious about is how people insert OCS. What is that? I've always admired how someone can do it so well. You can't figure out how to do it. I don't know what insert OCS is. Gilasse says this looks like the best of the 4. It does, doesn't it? We'll go ahead and implement it then. There's no need to hang around. Very out of context. What's out of context? Please provide more context, I guess. I'm to know. Yeah, one major thing of concern is mobs falling on your head, so I'm gonna have to go turn the farm off, right? OC's original characters like drawings of people or sometimes not people depending on the subculture. You're talking about original characters? I don't know what we're talking about. About how people insert original characters. I don't get it. Isn't OCS a completely different conversation? I don't know, like someone put it in my... I just read a message. I don't know how many times I have to explain that in chat you're talking to me. Right, let us... Right, we need pistons, which I've probably got in the backpack. What did I say I was going to do? I was going to turn off the farm, that's the one. EG with Hermitcraft fanfic, and OC would be a hermit that doesn't really exist. Chat is back to fanfic topic. Oh, okay. Well, again, like I said earlier with building stuff, like if you're admiring someone for their writing skills, again, it's like great writers. I mean, how many hours do you think like Stephen King has spent writing? You know, it's like people get good at stuff if they put in the time. As much as I like those lights, I always seem to have to use free cam to just double check. Callie says that's very egocentric of UX. It's not egocentric of me. I just, the amount of times I read stuff from my own chat and it's nothing to do with me. It's like, that's what the chat's there for, right? You know? So, just makes it difficult to keep this thing going back and forth if you're going to just talk about completely different stuff. I'm out of the loop. If we want to interact, yeah, you know, chat is there to interact with me. If you don't want to do that, fine, but like, if you do it in this space, then we're going to have these confusing conversations. Okay, let's go put that into there, and don't think I need to grab too much from here. Yo, Chimera, hope you're having a good day, X. You too, chat. Yeah, I'm having a good day. Okay, X, what's for dinner? Curry with lentils and chicken and coconut and spinach and other seasonings. Gonna make it taste great. It's gonna taste great. Should we just have a little check on pistons? Oh, I'm actually kind of low. Huh. What would you know? Worth a check then. None over here. Let's go craft some more. I have you have an average day, and that your average day is great. Yeah, I mean, well, we have great days, we have low days, we all have a variety of different days, right? I think the problem, or a problem, is just that how much of our time like becomes a bit like monotonous, right? Becomes routine and not special. I mean, like, part of that I think you have to have, because not every day can be like a miracle, right? Not every day can be out of this world. Then it would just become normal. And you know, you have your ups and your downs. I remember reading some stuff or hearing some stuff about like the brain regulates itself, so that like on average your moods kind of like level out and stuff. So you can't just literally be like constantly over the moon stimulated, right? Like you're gonna have downtime and stuff. So in that context, like, what's an average day? Hopefully one where, you know, your usual grind or whatever it is you're up to, you can find a way to appreciate it. X, have you had the famous daily EFO sandwich? I hear his recipe is divine. Can you support that claim with personal experience? I am not a big sandwich guy. I avoid eating bread, and I generally don't go for sandwiches much because they don't fill me up. They tend to be like low protein, and the bread is all, you know, carbs, the sort that make you crave more food. That's not my favorite kind of meal. But did bread traumatize you? No, I just stopped eating it when I found out that it was, you know, it's not particularly nutritious. It's full of energy, sure, but like it's not like a great option. If there was something you could eat every day and it was bread, like, you could do better. You could so easily do better. So quite a long time I was like, all right, I'll stop having bread then. And then I noticed how, like, when I'd have bread, it would really leave me with cravings for more, and that's because of all those sugary carbs that they've got up in there. So if I'm gonna have a sandwich, I want it to be like top notch. And the amount of times as a kid I'd have like some just Sainsbury's loaf of bread with like a little bit of ham and cheese in there. Like it's not. Oh, I banged the mic. It's not a great meal. Like it's not satiating. It's not particularly nutritious. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna bother with sandwiches. But you know, like if there's an opportunity to have a really good sandwich from somewhere that makes good sandwiches, something a little bit more luxurious, let's say, then I'll be down for a sandwich. Who wouldn't? But on a regular basis, I don't eat sandwiches. What would you eat instead of a sandwich? I would eat like a Whole Foods meal, you know, like homemade curry, something with vegetables in it, right? Big chunk of protein, some meat in there to make you feel full up. What's my opinion on pizza? I love pizza. But can't eat it all the time, right? Can't eat it all the time. All right, the farm appears to be off and has therefore... Let's see. I guess you could say, like, the conditions of the farm. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's in a state where the water being there is actually a bad thing. But it's how it should be when it's off, I think. Or maybe not. I don't know, actually. I don't know how it was supposed to be when it's off. Talking about two things at once is awkward. I'm going to say it again. Yo, Tactical Sniper! Thank you so much for using the Prime subscription, my dude. As an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can join us on the Let's Play Minecraft Together server. If that interests you at all, go to xisumavoid.com/getwhitelisted and you can hook up your Prime subscription to our server, whitelisted server, you know, like a Patreon server. What carb do I have with curry? Normally rice. I think with this one I'm not, because I've used up all my calories for the day. That's a good point. I'm putting lentils in it, so that kind of like soaks up a lot of the curry sauce. Yeah, usually I go for rice. I avoid the breads. Even like, I really like naan bread. But I found that depending on like what curry house, it can be pretty mixed. I've had some like really lame, just uninspired naan bread before, so I tend to avoid them, you know. Unless someone's like, hey, the naan bread here is really good, I'm like, I'll probably just pass. That's how I feel about a lot of bread. Like, but if you go to like a bakery somewhere and there's a really nice looking loaf of bread and it's, you know, maybe it's summer day and you're doing a barbecue and you want to treat yourself or whatever, then go for it. But like, I can never do just the basic bread. LPM server's predecessor was a gaming server with DocM, right? No, that's something totally different, my dude. I think you're thinking of the Respawn network. Let's Play Minecraft Together started with a series on my channel where I played on the server as well. And the idea was that we were going to do like lots of vanilla stuff, vanilla plus stuff together. And that's still kind of like a core theme of the server. Like there's custom boss battles and special challenge chambers and resettable dimensions with custom biomes and stuff. Like you can get access to all that cool stuff on there. Right, let's stop waffling and drinking water and tea and stuff. I've still got a little bit of tea left somehow. That'll be the last of it. Hill was asking what type of curry it is. Well, it's kind of just like winging it based on what's in my cupboard and knowing how to make curries. So it'll be like a mix of spices with coconut and other stuff. So when I do that, right, I think I've got to go around and turn all of these off. I've got to do a lot of, like, I don't want water just dripping down into here. That would just be like a nightmare, wouldn't it? Also, what if the piston went upwards instead of downwards? That would do the same thing. And then I would just put the piston where the dispenser is. So if I dig around this thing and go past all the dispensers, then I think we will basically make our lives a lot easier. And yes, I said our lives. You're doing this redstone too, man. I'm not doing it alone. Okay, now I'd be kind of guessing a little bit, but like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that was a very bad time to get instant mine. That made me seriously panic. Oh my god. I could have broken stuff with that. Yeesh. Okay, now I've got my bearings again, I think. No, I can break that block. I can break that block. And I can break this block. Is butter chicken considered curry or like it? You love butter chicken with peas. I think if you had like just buttered up chicken, maybe not, but like butter chicken is definitely a curry dish. Okay, is that why is there only 3 there? There's 3. I thought there were okay. Got the wrong number in my head from earlier. So that can go, yeah. And then it's 1, 2, 3. Right, okay. Hold up, I got lost. What are we doing here again? We're going to replace the dispensers with pistons, basically. And then rejig the redstone a bit, and then we should be good. Right, so now that we know it's free, that means we're going to break that block, and then we're going to be good again. Oh, right, we're making progress now. Proper progress. Right, is that our 1, 2, 3? I think it is. And I'm out of the range of the beacon. X, do you ever find efficiency 5 and haste annoying, like when it breaks too many blocks? It, like a second ago when it caught me off guard, that can be annoying. Hey look, a skeleton fell off and is now dying. Yeah, it can be annoying, like accidental usage of it, I guess. Right, what do we want to do here? Just... Wait, that's not what I want to do. If it's empty, I want to... Well, that's helpful. Also, I think I want to take the buckets away. Like once we got them in, let's take them away, basically. Right. Why did I not bring an empty box with me? Always a good idea to bring an empty box. Okay, I was about to put a crafting bench there, that would have teleported me. Not quite what we want, not quite. Set the shulker box, throw it down, put in the buckets, you know. You know how we do. Right, redstone torch. Redstone torch, where are you? Just put all my blocks away. Down there, of course. Might be better just to get this thing to send out a pulse. Like, let's look at the state. There's one over there. Seems to be in the correct state right now. So I'll take that back. And there might be another one, but I can't really tell. So, how do I get this thing to make a pulse? I think if I right-click on those comparators, we'd probably do the trick. One for that side. Ugh, one for this side. That didn't seem to work. Why didn't that work? Huh. I thought that would only send one pulse. Let's try changing that. Nope. That is confusing to me. So got something to do. I think it might be something to do with the torches, actually. Because these would need to stay on. Let's get a lever and just flick them on. Seems to be what the issue is. Makes me wonder how this thing actually works. It's possible that with all the different updates, something changed at some point. Yeah, this is not going well. Okay, just got to take out more buckets like that, and that one. Not that one. Yo, we got a couple more noises in the air coming through here. We got AC and Tuck for 22 months, and we got TR7 for 29. Dang. Big numbers right there. Thank you to the both of you. Appreciate it. AC and Tuck says, hello, Xisuma. Hope your day is going well. What are you building? We're fixing up some redstone because this farm used to pump out a lot of drops, and I started using a lot of bone blocks recently, and I noticed that we were running kind of low over here, so I figured it's time that we fixed this thing up and did it better. Turns out, we found a really good way to do it better. So we're going to implement some pistons instead of dispensers over here. And then we're going to look like redstone geniuses. Also, if I'm not mistaken... Ah, that's wrong. Ah, that's also wrong. Might we be able to put the piston here? I don't think we would. It needs to be where the dispenser is. That's not good. That's not good. Okay. That might have changed that. It didn't. Right, and I'll take that one. Okay, so if we flick these again, wherever they are, one over here. And flick that side. Right, now we have no water anywhere. So when we go around and do this next check, that'll be the last check. Then we can move on to the next part of the process. Yo! 2 more noises in the ear. We got Horse Lover for 26. Hey, first stream in a while. Glad I caught it. Glad to have you, my dude. Welcome back. Delvicia, thank you for 3 months. Tier 2 sub. Thank you for the wonderful 3 months. Appreciate it. By the way, just so you know, your tier 2 subscription, I mean, actually, it was tier 3 that used to give you access to LPM free. Anyway, any level of subscription now gives you access to our Patreon Minecraft community server. So, yeah, I was thinking tier 2 gave you access, but it didn't used to. It used to just be tier 3. Anyway, the more you know. Hi, can I join, says the Sniper God? If you subscribe, you can join. Decana Heaven says, how dare the stream start before I got home? You still have stuff to do and you have to leave again. I missed you at the beginning of the stream. Normally you're there. Normally you're there. Okay. Right, so we've gone all the way around, I believe. And we've got 2 water buckets put in here. The rest go into this space. So we need that many... Right there. We need that many pistons, yeah? That is 20 pistons, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I could be right. But I won't fight throughout the night. What a delight when X rhymes. All in good times. I could go on. But I won't. Because I became too self-aware. That's what breaks it down in my head. Absolute bars, says Granola. I know, right? There were some that were this long, there were some that were a bit shorter, but they were definitely bars. Will he take back the night? Will he take back the night? Is that like... That's probably... I mean, what song? There's probably a song out there that has lyrics about taking back the night. I mean, it's such a great sounding lyrical beat. Taking back the night. Oh! Okay, we'll put these in. So I'll break one, break two, and then put in a piston, and some of them will probably disappear down below, and that's fine. Cybot says, X, when you move the armor stand redstone, maybe change it to the version with the correct timing using the hoppers that's on the creative server. I believe, yeah, maybe. Actually, no, I know what you're referring to now. I'll have to go look at it. I've got a feeling in my mind there was some sort of reason I didn't use that originally, Cybot. And it was so long ago, but my gut tells me that it was either something to do with the timing on the server being different, or I just decided it wasn't worth it because, like, it was almost identical or something like that. Two vague things knocking around in this old noggin of mine. Captain Sparkle's Minecraft parody Take Back the Night. Ah, okay. I was never into the Minecraft parody songs when that kicked off. That was probably like at its peak around 10 years ago now, right? Like, wow, that is wild. But yeah, that era of Minecraft where lots of YouTubers were doing Minecraft songs, that was a big deal, right? I was just never into it that much, but it was a big deal. Yo, does this mean that, like, the Hermitcraft rap is going to be 10 years old before long? That feels criminal. That feels criminal that could be almost 10 years ago. Oh, what the heck? I mean, no. I was thinking it was 2016. Season 6 was 2018, right? So if it came out in, like, late 18 or 19, it's more like it's 6 years old. That feels much better. I think I scared myself with some incorrect maths then. You learn English by singing parody songs. Mixanu, I'm literally picturing you talking to someone, but you're actually just singing at them. Hey, where do I go to get on the train? You know, like, and they're just like, who is this mad person? Oh. We still haven't recovered from Hermit Gang. I wish we could come up with reasons to do more battle raps. They're so much fun. Maybe we don't need a reason. Maybe we should set up, like, the battle rap bar and just, like, drop in some beats and let people put rhymes on it. Everybody Derps is not an original song, Chimera. It's a cover of an REM song. Or a parody of it, I guess. Everybody derps sometime. Okay, so we want to have like a water source here and there, either side of the piston. Feels like doing that from where I am right now would be a good idea, but I reckon we should have the pistons extended. So we'll go put like probably several blocks in to make it really clear where the water is going to be. Which I can do most of from down below. Then we'll extend the pistons, come up here, and change them out. That sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a good idea, right. So I'm going to go need to go get some of those blocks. And I probably have some in here, but not enough. It is always an absolute pain to get in and out of this farm. Come on! That is literally the way in and out. You gotta jump up and down a little bit. Is that okay? Calling it a bar would be a good pun for it, says Callie. You're absolutely right, actually, wouldn't it? The rap battle bar? Oh my god. That sounds so good now. We should have an annual freestyle Hermitcraft event where everyone just freestyle raps. I don't think we should freestyle it. Freestyling's incredibly difficult unless you practice it, like we've established. You know, why are those freestylers out there so good at it? I tell you, they did a lot of freestyling. They better set the bar high. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. How is the honey elevator working? It just does. It works. Oh, I haven't got any left over here. Dang it! You know, I was going to say I came all this way over here for nothing, but I got a fresh supply of stone, which I'll happily dump into here, and we'll watch it go around. And it's got some glass left over. I say we'll happily, you know, if I put it in the correct chest, then we can watch it go around. There it is. Now it's going. Hey, Xisuma, hope you're doing good. Took some time away to do life things, says Luna Cupcake. That's always good. That's always good. Doc Duke says, X's inventions blow my mind. Really? I mean, I take the praise, but I don't know. With me and Redstone, I don't really do anything that's like super amazing or anything. I love getting stuck into a problem and like figuring out a solution or something, you know. That's where the fun of it is for me. Maybe back in the day, in the early days of Redstone, before these absolute geniuses started coming along and doing it, I had my moment. Like a lot of y'all watching. You know, I've been around for like 13 years doing this. When I started out, like my channel was just posting redstone contraptions all the time. You know, I used to just like constantly be in a little world tinkering with things, and I kind of miss for that. I kind of miss that. But the game, the problem is now, like, if they add something, we know all the different methods for farming. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of, like, wiggle room for new ideas. It just tends to be rehashing the old ones. So then, my fun with Redstone is when I come here on Hermitcraft and I make all those things a part of my base. Make it a part of something bigger. That's when I start having fun with Redstone again. Now, notice how we got everything back that time, even though it left some glass in there from the one before. I don't know how it sent out an extra minecart, but it did. I'm not complaining. That is really, really odd that it did that. Chimera, thank you for the nice message. Doc Duke says, I mean, Mumbo makes big builds, but you make the smaller builds that really make the base amazing. Thank you, my dude. I mean, Mumbo's incredible just with what he's doing over there. I'm a tired old chap. Like, I do what I do, but I feel like the amount of time I can dedicate is like less than it used to be. You start to, after like years of doing this, you kind of like exhaust your creative depth maybe or something, right? Like, still love it, but man, I remember like today, I haven't really sat down and played Minecraft until now. I like do so much other stuff with my time now. Like I went for a really long walk. I walked the dog for like an hour, and other little things as well. I don't know, just every day I'm just on other stuff more. It's not about the volume, it's more about the personal expression, says Granola. That's true, that's true. I guess my issue is just that I'm in a place where you're very incentivized to be obsessed, and I'm no longer obsessed, right? So if you are like obsessed with this game and YouTube, right, like that is great, because those two things complement each other in this environment. I'm just not as obsessed anymore, and I guess I find it just a little hard, which I shouldn't. But like, you know, I kind of like think, oh, why am I not like as mad as I used to be? Like, I used to be on something every single day, you know? My channel used to upload like 5 to 7 videos a week at one point in time. Like, what happened to that? That's life though. Things change. They don't stay the same. Just got to accept it, really. Not being obsessed isn't really a bad thing, really, says Granola. Yeah, but it's like I'm still in that environment, right? You know, like I'm gonna use drugs as a kind of. Oh wait, I want some actual stone here because that's the aesthetic. As a bit of a like a. I don't know why this is the only thing that comes to mind right now, but it is, so we'll roll with it. But like, if you want to like stop doing drugs. If you're a user and maybe you identify, oh, this isn't good for me, like I need to make a change. One of the things going to be really hard about that is that like, you're surrounded by the things that make you do that. So, like, the people and the places, like, your regular routine is associated with what you do. If you're using, you're going to be surrounded by that constantly, right? So for me, it's like this whole obsessive Minecrafter YouTuber, I'm still surrounded by the things that remind me of it constantly. So I'm constantly reminded of feeling that way, right? And then it creates like a bit of a thing in my head where I feel like I'm doing something wrong or I'm not doing something right because I'm not like manically obsessing over making another YouTube video, right? Like that is what I have been for a long time. I'm going to turn that back to stone, that one. That's what I've been for a long time, and I'm surrounded by all the things that remind me of it. So I constantly find myself thinking about like, oh, I need to make a YouTube video or something like that, right? And I'm like, and I feel the like the stress of thinking like that, of like putting pressure on yourself. But then I have to slow down and remind myself, nah, I don't do that anymore. I'm not like gleaming to constantly make content anymore. That's not who I am now. It's a hard thing. I'm so used to it, and I'm always in the same environment where I did that. Is that in the right spot? I think it is, but I missed one here. Had to ask, we done with the horror game, by the way? I haven't felt the itch to pick another one out yet. I don't know where I'm at with that. I feel like there could be a really good horror game out there that vibes well. We can have fun playing, but I just don't know what it is. And that last one that I played didn't really do it for me at all. So I haven't really felt encouraged to go back and do it. The environment is a big key factor in battling addiction. Personally, I have no people around me, work from home, theoretically no possible triggers, but damn, every day so close to losing battles just because. Well, yeah, I work from home as well, right? But for me, it's that working from home environment is the place where I have been this obsessive Minecrafter YouTuber for a long time, and I just struggle to reckon with not being that anymore. But I am in that environment that triggers those impulses, right? Like, triggers that impulse of like, what's the video today? You know? It's like, whoa, why do I have to make a video today? No learned compulsion like that goes away until it's replaced with something new, in my opinion, says Kepsico. Interesting. Yeah, I could see if I like, I'll tell you what, my favorite thing over and over and over again is like playing guitar and writing music. Because when I do that, like I just distance myself so much from that other type of thinking. But that's because I'm like so invested in it, right? Like that's kind of like what you're saying. It's something that takes you over, because when you're doing that, this other stuff just don't really bug you. You're now obsessed with this other thing. Without going to the office, you'll always feel like you're at work, no escape. Yeah, I think you're right, but I think I can train myself to I think different. It's a difficult battle, but I think it can be done. Yeah, there's a lot of acknowledgement that has to come along with it. You have to keep catching yourself and try and build up new habits. But yeah, I imagine it'll probably be the kind of battle that always like expends a lot of your willpower. Because unless you like change your environment, it's really gonna feel the same. Hex, can you teach me guitar? I want to learn Smoke on the Water to play with my friends in front of school. Dude, you can do that. You can do that. You can teach yourself that. I can kind of do the riffs. Enderella, just like keep sticking at it and putting in time with the guitar. Like, I am self-taught, and you know, if you can get a teacher or someone who knows guitar to like give you tips and stuff, that you can definitely like get some good value out of that. That just makes your time with the guitar like a little more effective, you know. But if you don't have access to that though, You can still teach yourself a lot of that stuff. It's just about putting in time. You just got to get more and more comfortable with the guitar, right? Just keep at it. Smoke on the Water, that's, you know... That's obviously beginner's level stuff, and it'll feel tough to begin with, but the more you pick up the guitar and try it over and over again, you will just slowly get more and more comfortable with it, right? And that's what you want to do. Just keep getting more and more comfortable with it. It's really about putting in the hours. Same with everything, just practice, right? Says Luna Cupcake. Yep, you know, like if you want to practice building in Minecraft, that's good. If you got someone like Scar or B-Dubs around you, giving you little tips along the way, that helps immensely, right? It's the same with guitar. I can't give you like a specific tip really, because I can't see you playing. But I do know that the more you play, you just get more comfortable with it. Build up those calluses on the digits, says AC and Tuck. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't have calluses on my fingers from where the fingers hit the strings. I do have calluses around like my where your finger meets your hand. That's from like using weights and stuff. I get calluses from weights, but not from playing guitar. Because people mention it, and I wonder, are we actually talking about calluses, or is it like a little bit of shorthand? It's a little bit of you know, a way to describe what you want to talk about, if that makes sense. I got a bit of an issue, right? I need to be in this space, and then I kind of need, like, infinite water somewhere. So I think what I'll probably do, actually, is just disable this one, go up in the opposite corner, and that way we can make better use of this stuff here. Alright, what did I say? Opposite corner? I don't think it really matters, actually, which corner I go up in. And I'll put that there so I can keep the magma block. You've been looking at your partner's guitar gather dust. I've been tempted to learn when he's not around to surprise him. So next he plays, I can play with him. Go, just do it. Just do it. Just find out. Don't think about it too much. Just pick up and start playing. I struggle with self-motivation. I can't stick to one thing. It's part of the reason I fail in school, and the teacher's always focusing on everyone else's Enderella. Alright. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Right, motivation is not the thing that you want. Okay? You do not want to be motivated. Why? Because motivation comes and goes, and it is like, you can't choose it, right? You can't be like, hey, I just want to be motivated right now. Oh, look at me, I'm motivated, right? Doesn't work like that. You got to start with action. You got to choose to act. You can choose to act. You can't choose to be motivated. So, like, you've only got so much time on this planet. The days tick by. You got those hours where you're not motivated, so you start watching Netflix or playing a game or something, right? Like, you got to say to yourself in those moments, no, I'm going to do the thing. Right, I'm going to go do that thing that I keep wishing I had the motivation to do. You just start. You do it. It's not about how you feel. You just know this is the thing that I want in the big picture. So I'm going to do it. So you act on it. You start doing it. Now, when you're actually doing something, let's say it's playing guitar. You know, at some point in playing, you'll probably start to enjoy it. And you'll probably start to feel something that is a little bit like motivation. But if you wait for the motivation to come to you, you're going to be waiting a long time. So you should start by acting and doing. And see where you go from there. I pick up my guitar at the moment and play every day. And it generally doesn't start with motivation. It's nice when the motivation's there. I generally just get going and see what happens, right? Yeah, this is a bad thing if a creeper drops down. I'd have to keep it in the water. Like, yesterday, I had an absolute fire time playing Metallica. I'm telling you, like, what I tend to do is pick up a different guitar every day. That means I'll be playing a different set of songs. And I just hope that something like really hits me. You know, I do a little bit of stuff to get warmed up, and then start playing through some songs, right? And I'm just hoping that at some point, like, something latches on and I'm like, oh, I'm in the mood for this today. Right, here we go. And yesterday, God, it hit me so quick. I barely started playing, and it was just like, oh, it's Metallica today. And then I started playing Creeping Death, which I haven't played in ages. Like, my arms were all loose, and I could do that. And it's just like, all right, I had an absolutely amazing time. But it did not start with feeling motivated. It didn't start with, like, I really want to play guitar, and it's going to be amazing. But I know that I get to that place. I don't get there every day. I get there most of the time. But I know that I can get to that place. So that's the way that I kind of go about it. Ah, I missed a bunch of it. Of course I did. Of course I did. Of course I did. We'll go back up there then. Should have checked, really. X giving me better life tips than my parents ever had. Thank you, X, says Enderella. Probably not. Probably not. There's this thing, right, where for some reason people that are close to us in our life, like everything I'm saying right now, doesn't resonate with anyone I know personally. Like, I've spoken about these things to people that I know personally. The sort of messaging that I'm giving you right now tends to, for some reason or another, tends to come best from strangers, right? I don't know what that is. I remember I knew this already, and then I found like a motivational speech podcast person or whatever getting interviewed and like saying how they always tried to like help members of their family with this stuff and no one would ever listen. And it wasn't until they got the same advice they were dispensing secondhand through someone else and they found out, oh wait, that person is in my family, that then they changed their tone and started listening, right? You tend to not like most of us most of the time tend to not like resonate with getting this kind of advice from family members. I don't know what it is. There's something like psychological there. I'm not sure really. I don't really have a theory at all what it is, but it's a well observed thing that most people who get like really good advice in their life, it's from strangers, right? And I think it's because, you know, the stranger doesn't like know you or have a role in your life, so you kind of don't have anything in the game when you listen to the advice. It hits you in a completely different way, basically. Star Lixer says, I think it's because strangers don't know you personally, so it feels less unbiased, judgmental compared to someone who knows you and your struggles personally. That is a good take. Unbiased and judgmental. Yeah, you might feel defensive. I think if I reflect on, and I have reflected on this, on like why I haven't listened to like advice from my parents, there is always this like defensive instinct there, something like that, but I couldn't tell you why. I just am being that way. So maybe it's got something to do with that. But here's the thing, like, it's weird because your parents care about you more than I or any other stranger dispensing advice ever could. And so, like, once you become aware of this dynamic and you see it, and maybe, like, the next time you hear some good advice, you're like, I wonder if that's something, like, my parents ever said to me, right? Because they probably have said similar things one way or another. Hopefully, like, this is what it's helped me do, is to, like, actually pay a little more advice when someone, like, close to you is giving you some advice. Like, think, okay, what if they were shouldn't that ender pearl be active right now? Oh, now it's active. Sorry, what are we saying here? Like, you get some advice from a family member, now imagine that it's been given to you from a stranger. Like, seek out the value in what they're saying. And try and detach yourself from all the other baggage. And then maybe you'll realize, oh, this is, you know, what they're saying is really helpful, or not. I don't know. Depends, doesn't it? All right. How does this all work again? The clock at the very top has like a timed thing that we then split up into like a pulse system. I think we actually want to do away with this. I reckon the output of that comparator is probably what we could feed into the rest of it without this here. Because now we're working with an on-off system. I think we're just going to have to like roll with it from here. Have a little bit of fun, sort of live diagnosing. Let's double check. This is safe, right? Like, mobs are going to land here and die. We just need to now configure the water stream. So I think we're good to do some, like, just figure it out together, you know? And Drew says, I know this is kind of an annoying question, but I do have a space of 25 by 25 blocks, and I want to make an automatic storage. My tip would be, you know, you're going to have to do a lot of stuff yourself, basically, to fit something of that specificity into 25 by 25 blocks. Maybe schematics would be your best place to start, to just see if it fits. Because otherwise you're just asking for a lot of custom stuff that is more realistically something you just have to figure out yourself. Strangers don't judge as much as someone who knows you, and I feel and can sometimes be easier to talk to in confidence knowing they're not going to tell someone else. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think it's important to point out though that like being judged or judgment, I think you're really onto something there, but like maybe there's like compassionate judgment as well, because there is that like sense of judgment attached to getting advice from people close to you or whatever. But like these are people that know you and like you, like there's like lots of compassion there, right? It's a really strange dichotomy. It's your parents' first time parenting, they can make mistakes too. That's another good way of looking at it. Forgil says, yeah, until your parents keep telling you I've told you so. Yeah, okay, that's something I figured out for myself like a while ago. Like, I you know, I've done a lot of self-reflecting and trying to like learn and figure stuff out, all of that, right? And at some point I realized that like it doesn't, like sometimes I just want to be right, you know? And you get that like I told you so because someone told you to do something and then you messed up and you're wrong. But I'm thinking, well, they were right, you know, about this thing. So like, why do I feel this way about it? And I then noticed there's loads of times now where the old me would be like really like resistant to it, and the new me is just like, yeah, you're right about that. Like, I just realized you don't have to hold on to that feeling. But yeah, it's totally there. It's totally there. It's hard to give a specific example, but you know, we all go through those kind of things, so it shouldn't be too difficult to relate to, I imagine. I'm not sure that that thing is like on or off more than it is on or off, right? Because this is a big timer to send a pulse, and then the timer repeats. So I believe the interval at which we get something down here is the same, and I think that's why there's like a pulse extender essentially here. So maybe actually what we want to do is hook this up to the pulse extender, I think. Yeah, let's hook it up to the pulse extender. And that might need some tweaking. So we can do away with these bits. What we actually want is just to pull the signal off of there. Goes away pretty quick though, doesn't it? So it'd be a short flush. It feels like we're going in the right direction with that idea. Right, I'm going to... No! Oh, it went that way. Dang it. I'm not sure if this system has like a trash chest at the very end. It should do, really. Oh, it's just got fire. See you later, then. See you later. Should really get a little bit higher for this. Yo, Maddie Ray, thank you so much for 58 months. Appreciate your support. And we got Wordless Lee here subscribing. Thank you for the subscription, my dude. I appreciate it and hope you're enjoying today's stream. I see some of y'all are still discussing the told you so thing, says Forgil. Like, everyone's probably got this, right? Your parents say, I told you so, and you have that kind of like instinct of like something self-defensive. If you can just ruminate on that when it next happens, you can just capture it for a second and not react to it and just be like, let's slow down, right? And imagine like being detached from yourself for like a brief moment. That is probably so much better, this system. It's crazy. If you can do that and just start to think like, okay, like what's actually happened here? Am I wrong? Because usually you are when someone tells you you're wrong, right? All right, I'm wrong. Can I accept that? Is that okay? Yeah, it is. It's okay to be wrong sometimes, right? And why are you upset? Because is this other person right? Like, if you can just like slow it down, detach yourself from it a little bit, you might just find that it's not so bad. It's all right to be like, yeah, okay, I'm wrong. You know, with family, you have emotional baggage. You won't have a stranger says no. Yeah, and I think like I'm trying to say like if you stop for a second and just think a little bit, air quotes, logically, I'm not really sure that's the right term or not, but if you stop and think about it for a minute, you might just realize that okay, yeah, I'm wrong, and is that much of a problem? Maybe it's not. That appears to be correctly timed. I think the next test, because we don't have all the mobs, is to find the bottom of the floor. So when the last bit of water leaves here, that's when the last mob like could effectively fall off, somewhere about nowish. Yeah, it strikes me as maybe a slight delay would help here, but probably not much. I think what I'm going to do, except I don't have a lot of what I need. I think I want to make some repeaters, and then we're probably going to be good. I might not use them all right now, but I'll make some. People get mad when someone says, I told you so, but before you get mad, put yourself in their position and think, would I have done that if I was in their position? 9 times out of 10, you'd have probably done the same, says Ducko. That's it. Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. And it's about stopping before you have that reaction. X, I think the grudge comes from you having accepted that you are wrong, but the other person doesn't let it go. Maybe, like, okay, so now I think we're talking about, like, sometimes people can revel in telling you that you're wrong, and if someone is reveling in it, and they are telling you that you are wrong to push you down or something like that, then yeah, it's a little more complicated. For me, it wasn't actually like that. It was just, I had this way of reacting to it. So, you know, not all situations are the same. If you're dealing with someone being spiteful and like taking joy in you being incorrect, that's going to be a lot more difficult to work with, right? What I'm saying is more for like when there's just, you know, a sort of, you have a response to something, and when you stop and think about it, you realize it's kind of on you, you know? And that's not always the case. But like a lot of doing better and just getting positive changes, like, usually starts with yourself. There's a lot wrong in the world, and it's easy to look at other people and think they're the problem, but there's so much you can do just starting with yourself. You just watched a video on mob flushing. He said it as 6 seconds on and 6 off. Yeah, but this is my own custom built farm, so it's kind of like built for my needs. So for example, like, the water might not be out long enough to actually flush all the items in. It also needs to be timed with the last mobs that fall off of the water here. And considering we've got like other hermits on, we're not going to get a good test of that today. Also, when I'm standing down here at this level, that might also be a bad time to test it. So if we go look at this from somewhere else, we might actually get some better results now that I think about it. White crosses. Go enjoy your time in the garden, my dude. Benefit of the doubt is key to life. Not gonna lie. Yeah, the benefit of the doubt is always a good thing, right? I think that first a lot of the time these days. when stuff happens and goes wrong, it's like, usually there's no one in there trying to make a problem, right? The second flush would almost definitely get all the items if they were missed the first time. Yes, that's kind of... I think you finished the sentence I didn't quite finish there. Is that, you know, if the timing is off, the second or third wave will probably get them as well. Take the speck of dirt out of your own eye before trying to take it out of others. That's something my parents always told me. Basically saying, don't judge others because you're not perfect either. Yeah. I mean, judging people is an interesting thing. I feel like I don't have a lot of judgment in me at all, really. Like, I don't... It's like one of those concepts where it's just like, why do I need to do that? Judge someone, like, I'm not a judge. Okay, X, I wanted to ask, have you had the chance to check out the Tempest Rising yet? I don't think I have. Tempest Rising. Vaguely rings a bell. Where's my farm, yo? I dropped down there. That's too far. Is it here? Yeah, these are where my farms are. Here we go. Ah, and now... That kind of looked like it wouldn't have flushed them all out on the first go. Let's pop up to here. Right, stuff's falling off. Oh, look, see? Those are the ones that we need to die. They just came off the bottom. There's plenty of time. Still plenty of time. Still things drop in. And then they get flushed out. Dude. I think the only thing you could probably improve here is the length of the water. But, like, if it gets the items the second time round, there ain't too much bother to that. I can't believe I didn't build this with pistons first time round. That is so much better. And this won't break because... Once you come and fully load it, it'll all work like we're seeing it right now. If I leave it partially loaded in some area, yeah, there might be some water left on the incorrect timing. But as soon as we come back, it will fix it. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You're kind of glad the Excel storyline is over? It's nice seeing Hermit's return to their projects, says Nick. I'll give you my thoughts on it. Like, I think we wrapped it up a little too early. I think people know that. We had the charity event coming up, which kind of forced us to... bring it to its conclusion, but I think it could have gone a fair bit further, you know. Luna Cupcakes says Tempest Rising is the new game by some of the same people who made Command & Conquer. Yes, I am aware of it. I've seen it, and for me, the graphics are what turns me off. I've never seen a 3D RTS that has drawn me in. I'm quite a sucker for more simplistic graphics like Minecraft, you know, where things are big, bold, and obvious. And those games are very what I call noisy. Like I was playing Final Fantasy VII, right? And I think part of how the battling works is you're supposed to observe what your opponent does, right? And for me, and the way I play games, that needs to be like broadcasted to me. Like your opponent is about to do this, and then you can react to it. In that game, it's like some weird alien creature that you've only seen a few times before. And you have to like figure out its movements. And it's got like loads of moving parts. It's highly detailed. There's loads of color and magic flying around. And my brain just doesn't do that very well. I don't decipher that level of detail very well. I need like clear and simple instructions. So it's like that with the RTS. Like when they upgraded it to 3D, I just felt like I lost that clarity that I like seeing when I play a game like that. That's why I like the pixel graphics and stuff, you know? I do like those pixel graphics. Where do the buckets of water go? I think I just put them straight in over here. There's probably already one for it. I'll put them in with these ones. I love what Grian did with the powdered snow buckets. I need to go look into that. In fact... I'm going to make a little note. Didn't he, I was watching the recap. Earlier. I've got to go rewatch that video, because he gave credit to the person he got the idea from. Which I wasn't aware of. I just sort of seen a little bit here and there. I I want to go check out that person's channel now, because apparently they do lots of detail with builds and stuff, and it's like, my idea for next season is starting to focus on detail and stuff. I've got like a bunch of ideas that keep knocking around in my head for moving items around and doing things differently, which I'm looking forward to doing in the future. And so I figured I might go check that person out, because I think I want to do something with that powdered snow and the particle effects. It's really cool what you can do with that. Jake Kelton Crafts. Well, you've saved me a little bit of time there, Open Tanyo. Thank you for that. I can just go straight to the source now. Straight to the source. Oh wow, are we out of shulkers from that one? Elden Ring is like that, very overwhelming, says Skunk. Oh yeah, that's a game that was sort of like on the back of my mind to maybe play, because I heard so many good things about it. But really, I don't want to play games, I want to make music, and I have to like just get going. We were talking earlier about action and motivation, right? Lazy me just wants to sit back and play a game, and like the me that knows better is like do the action, which the action is just start doing something with music, which I've been doing a lot of lately, right? Just get your programs out and start making noise and sounds and follow wherever it goes. Anyway, Elden Ring was like on a list of like games I might check out and stuff. And yeah, I forgot where I was going with this. I totally forgot where I was going with this. Anyway, what you said just there is like, maybe it's not the sort of game I would like. I just, you know, a lot of people praised it, and sometimes stuff gets praised and it's not your cup of tea, and that's okay, right? But yeah, that kind of thing. Like, if the game is built around like paying attention to highly graphical monsters and creatures and stuff, and learning their movement and all that, I am not going to enjoy that. I am not going to enjoy that. It's been fun finding different ways to transport items in my worlds build. Exciting to see what you come up with. Oh, you got me wondering now what sort of things you got up to. I mean, yeah, just thinking out the box and being like, what other ways are there to like decorate? Sorry, move items. Immediately, just reading that made me feel like I probably haven't even thought about that many different ways to move the items. I've just got a couple of ideas that keep knocking around, and I need to work on elaborating that, I guess. So this will be our next like redstone project. I'm kind of hesitant to do too much right now, but I think what I'd be smart to do here is to build without removing. So we start to build the replacement system somewhere over here. Where is the chunk border? I think I want to keep it inside of this space, so let's go ahead and start to carve some of that out, actually. Oh boy, I just broke it. I just broke it. And do you know what's super annoying about that? This has to be set to something, and I wouldn't be able to tell you what it is off the top of my noggin. Oh dear. What is it supposed to be? Oh boy. I guess... I'm not sure if I saw the last one got powered or not. I just went with 8, like as a gut kind of thing. I think it was 8. I think we're okay, because I saw all of them get powered. Let's check out Tango up here. That is the animation. It's not that glorious, but it is the animation. From one arm to the other. So, this input here, we'll probably finagle so that that crafter is back here, pointing in this direction, and then this thing can be pressed off in that direction, but then the reset wire will just have to come down here somewhere. We'll make it work. It won't be so bad. You'll see. And that is probably more than enough space right there. What instruments do I play? I mean, actively at the moment, piano and guitar, and then I can play drums as well if I have to. Might get the drum kit back in here actually, just so I can play for a little bit of fun. I'm like in the mindset to do that more now. Yo, NYX Belial, thank you ever so much for 10 months of support, my dude. Much appreciate the subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Xisuma, you were talking about how we shouldn't be lazy. So, in your opinion, should I stay here and continue watching, or go and work out? Says Ducko. You know what I'm going to say. You should go work out. Like sometimes people say, you know, oh, you're my comfort streamer, or I watch you for a distraction, and I'm like, if that's what you need to do right now, that's cool. But at the same time, I want you to, like, you know, maybe not do that. Maybe figure out the thing that, you know, you need the distraction from, right? Everyone needs a bit of entertainment. Like, we can't go through life solidly 110% working out and doing something productive all the time. Like, everyone needs a little bit of entertainment, and that's cool. I'm happy to entertain. But, like, sometimes we do it when we know we should be doing something else, and I'd rather you go do that something else, you know? I don't want to be like a reason to procrastinate. Hey X, have you had the time to check your Blue Sky mentions recently? I would love you to take a look at a redstone project I've been working on. Yeah, I've been checking them because someone sent something to me, and I've been waiting for a response to them. So yeah, I've had my eye on it, let's say. I've had my eye on it. Your favourite farm was the bee farm. You piped the honeycomb up a tree and made it look like it was tripping out of a bee's nest. Now that is awesome. That is awesome. That's the kind of thing I'm hoping to do next season, is just start doing stuff like way more out of the box. I feel like I've always tried to make my redstone contraptions different each time, but when I look at what I've done this season, I've definitely done different things, but they're all sort of still reaching the same end goal, right? That's not quite what I want. Let's go watch the mob farm for a second again. I think I need to get a screenshot of that in action. Well, okay then. I should probably go work out. Enjoy the rest of your time. No, I was joking, man. Come back. Don't leave me. No, enjoy the workout, man. Have a good one. Alright, here it is. There's the farm, and there's the bottom. And I think that right there will be a possibly interesting thumbnail. I mean, it'll be something, right? The thumbnails don't have to be particularly high effort or anything. I just want them to tell you a little something about the stream that we did, you know? What if a giant battle axe guitar, one that actually looks sick? I mean, well, you gotta, what's the question? You can't just say what if and not put the question in there. What's the question, man? Is the next season coming for the next big game drop? Probably not. Probably not. I said it a while ago, we're about halfway through the season, it feels like. Would I be able to explain how the moving arm stands work? Not this time, but maybe next time if you tune in, you can ask. For those of you that know, I stream for 2 hours because then I become incredibly allergic and uncomfortable at being at a computer. My body is like, go move around, go outside, touch grass. So, this is basically me winding down and wrapping up. Let's go look for someone to raid. And I must say a massive thank you to all of you for your amazing support. Remember, if you are subscribed, maybe you've got nothing to do right now, swing by xisumavoid.com, click on Get Whitelisted. You can use your subscription. Come check out our Minecraft Patreon community. Hopefully you'll enjoy the community there. They are an awesome, amazing community. Is Pearl live? I didn't see Pearl on earlier. Oh. I'll send you over to Pearlio today. Some sort of new game. I might have to tune in and see what this is about. Although I'm going to hop off the computer as it goes, so I won't. Right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. And I will see you again Wednesday for another stream. Take care.